can't give you more, buddy. Hi, pretty girl. It has been like over 7, 8 years since I last posted like an actual video on YouTube. So much has changed since then. I just turned 26 and life couldn't feel more ambiguous than it ever has. I'm stretching. I guess I always thought the older you get, the more things are supposed to make sense. Like, at some point you'll figure out what you want to do with your life. At some point you'll figure out you're on the right path. I don't know. Once you get out of college, there are no real milestones, even in the corporate world. Milestones could be getting to know the company, and then next you're like, oh, I will grow this skill so I can get a promotion. And then you keep growing your skills because you realize that no one on your team actually knows how to do these things. So you put it upon yourself to be like, I'm gonna take initiative and learn these skills so my team can grow and we can achieve more together. You keep trying to get better, and you do get better. And your company sees that you're getting better. Every single performance review, Catie, you've done such a great job. You have contributed so much to the team, so much to the company. So then you muster up the courage to advocate for yourself, right? As they teach you in all of these seminars through, HR and like on LinkedIn, whatever, you advocate for yourself. And the moment you do, they tell you you didn't actually do as much as you think you did, regardless of all the quarterly, yearly reviews, regardless of all the kudos you've gotten throughout the company, throughout C-suite. You weren't even being greedy. You literally asked for a title change to reflect the responsibilities that you had. I literally didn't even ask for a raise. And then after 3 years, just like that, the path that you were on is gone. You've realized in life that milestones like that kind of don't matter, but everybody's different. I have quit my corporate job. I quit it a year ago now, a little bit over a year ago. Even though it's been a year, I don't look back with as much hatred and annoyance and all those, really bad feelings anymore. A lot of it has to do with the fact that when you enter the corporate world, you kind of have to change who you are, the way you talk, the way you think, the way you dress, all of those things in order to conform to that sort of environment. Even though I was work from home, when I had to go in every few weeks or so, I dreaded it so bad because I had to put on this whole mask and become this person. You have to hate the people that they hate, like the people that they like. You have to speak a certain way. You have to do everything a certain way. And you can't overstep certain things. Literally old people not knowing how to do things, but then expecting you to do things, and they're getting paid triple the amount. You come to the realization that titles mean nothing. You can get any title in the world that you want as long as you somehow know someone in HR, or if you've been there long enough and you know how to plead for that. You don't have to be qualified. You don't at all. And this person has these people, I should say. Person has a title that back then used to think was not achievable unless you have this worldly amount of knowledge and experience and achievements. This person asks you how to edit a PowerPoint, how to post on LinkedIn. They ask you about basic SEO principles. They don't know the acronyms of basic social engagement. On top of that, you're doing what you can to stay up to date on everything that's going on, because marketing is a very fast-paced, everything's changing sort of environment. If you're not keeping up with the trends, you're not keeping up with the new ways Google is changing their search engine or any of the other things, right? if you're not keeping up with it, your marketing team is going to fail. So you decide to do that, right? But then as you're bringing up all these new concepts, they don't accept it until they hear it themselves, until they see it 6 months later on LinkedIn or on an email campaign, or because someone else in C-suite mentioned it to them. So now they feel the need to look into it when you already did the research and you already sent them these things and said, we should start considering these things. Nope, no. And then they take credit for it when they find it. I'm so sorry. Something that I'm working on right now just triggered all these. And on top of that, I had these people popped up in a dream last night, in a dream that I had. And it was a very annoying dream. But all of a sudden today, I was reminded of that. To be in the corporate world literally means knowing how to play the game. And that is a game that I choose not to play. This goes for any industry, but if you become so miserable, your body starts becoming inflamed. Like my gums were inflamed. I started getting all these random things that just were swollen on my neck. I didn't know how to talk anymore. I didn't know how to be myself anymore. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror. I questioned myself thinking, am I giving up too early? Am I being lazy? Am I not pushing as hard as I could? You can question for sure. Those are all valid questions to have. Maybe your parents, your uncles, your aunts, mentors, whatever, they don't know the exact situation you're in. They don't know how you really feel on the inside, but they're telling you things like, oh, just keep going, keep persevering, things will get better, blah, blah, blah. They will never know your situation as much as you do. Your body will tell you when it's time to go, when you need a change. Your mental state is a huge sign of these things. You're hanging out with your friends that you haven't seen in a long time. You're with your family. The only thing you can think about is how upset or annoyed or angry you are at work. You go to sleep thinking about work. You start doing things out of spite because of your work. All of those signs, run, get out. At the end of the day, if a job makes you forget who you are, it makes you dread every single day of your life and literally makes you think that your future is so grim and so bleak, you need to leave. You have to leave. I am aware that I'm saying this in a state of privilege though, because I have my family home to live in, so I can comfortably make these decisions without worrying about if I'm going to be able to pay rent for like the next 3 months. I saved up a lot from that job, and I do have another job that I'm working. Definitely still not as nice as having like that check come in every 2 weeks, but I happily take the pay cut over being exploited every single day at work. And that is true freedom. That is true peace of mind for me in this time. I can talk about this forever. I have so many notes on my phone when I was going through this to remind myself why I will never go back to corporate. I honestly don't like talking about it because it makes me so annoyed. It literally, I genuinely feel like there are times when I still feel like I will crash out. But that is why I have swore to myself and to the universe, I will never, ever go back into the corporate world if I don't need to. Okay, so since leaving that world behind, I've kind of just been doing whatever I feel like doing. And now I'm like, what is the next milestone? What is next? All I know is that I need to stretch more. I need to start worrying, I guess, less somehow. I need to, as my whiteboard said, embrace the ordinary. For many, many years, this has been with me since middle school, this whiteboard. Since I've gotten older, this whiteboard has become my gigantic reminder for things to remember in life. When I was going through very bad mental states because of that corporate job or because of a breakup or something, I'd write on that whiteboard the the world is bigger than this, or keep your inner space clean. I would write like a whole bunch of just like daily reminders, and then like every month or so I'd change it up, or I would change it when I feel like it's time to be changed. And so right now what I need to hear in my life is, you choose the life you want to live. You. My tendency to get caught up in what other people's ideas of how someone needs to live their life. I get so wrapped up into their ideas so that I just need to remember that I am the one who's choosing how I want to live my life. What's gonna happen in 2 years? In 5 years? This person's like not even in your life anymore. And you took their advice to heart. Nah. So I need to like stay grounded somehow and remember we choose the life that we want to live. You choose the life you want to live. You. Practice gratitude, embrace ordinary. I don't know where this came to me. I think I remember I wrote a lot of this when I was at the gym, and I was just like having a moment of, damn, these are thoughts I need to write down. I think this comes from what I wrote below. I let my negative voice like eat into my daily life so easily. And I forget to sometimes take a look around and be like, you know, things aren't so bad. Yes, I'm very conflicted. Yes, I might be going through, you know, like a whole change, a whole new season in life that I don't really know how to navigate. And I'm doing it on my own and on my own terms. But I should remember to practice gratitude and embrace the ordinary, because these milestones that, you know, back then when you're like going into a different year of school, changing a major. Time to eat, kitties. I don't know, like starting. I think what I'm trying to say is all those times that I took for granted back then as a kid, not even took for granted, it's just things you don't know when you're young until you're old. That's why older people always say, enjoy this while you can. I went to a Wave to Earth concert sometime this past June, and I was standing in line with some of the nicest people. We were just having like casual conversation about K-pop, things around the sort, and come to find out our age range was just 13 to 26. I know I'm not old, but you definitely feel like older. It's just crazy. We were talking about like jobs in our life. They were asking like, what's it like to work a job? Or like, what kind of job do you work? And what advice do you have for life? And so I was like, 1, never ever go into corporate. And 2, enjoy this time. Like, it is such a golden time of your life. You have so much freedom right now. You have so much time to think and just do the things that you love. So just really bask in that as long as you could. This is making me realize why most animes are set in like high school time, because that's a much more innocent time in your life. So while we may not be able to enjoy those pleasures that we did as a youthful person without a care in the world, now being 26, I'm trying to figure out what these moments are that hopefully I'm not just letting go of. And there's always that thought that like you're not doing enough, you're not experiencing enough, you're not seeing enough. But at the same time, like that's not everybody's life. And I'm definitely not in the place right now where I could do that. So what around me, what is the ordinary that I'm not embracing? What are these moments that I should be expressing gratitude towards? And I love this sort of fun employment time in my life right now where I'm kind of just doing jobs that are helping me stay afloat, but I'm not really going out there and like experiencing anything else. So that is something I feel like I need to open up and do more of and get out of the house, you know? As an introverted person that really, really enjoys their solitude and being in the house, I genuinely do feel like being in the house this much, staying at home, for one, I am declining in my social abilities to a sense. I notice my social battery is like very small. Even with family, I just feel so like tired after a few hours of hanging out. Also being out there and socializing and like talking to people and stuff again helps you change your worldviews and your thoughts about yourself, life, the world, so many different things. So it is good to get out of the house. I just have to do it. Allow yourself to feel your emotions. Don't tell yourself that it's wrong to feel certain things, but learn how to curb your negative voice. I think the reason why I wrote this, why I felt this, was about a month ago now, my childhood dog passed away. And that dog, he was like my life for 18 years. And grieving, I guess, him, the daily routine. Let's not talk about that. Let's move on to something a little different. So, let's talk about career and daily life instead. One thing with career is that, like, I don't know what the heck I really, really want to do, and I don't know what is going to bring me, I guess, that sort of happiness. So, I mean, I've got to the point where I'm like, in an idealistic world, what kind of life I want to live. But right now, while I'm in this state of figuring out how to get there, I tend to feel moments of feeling like I am invaluable, worthless, in a sense of, like, I have seen a lot of videos of other people talking about this and how the reason why we might feel this way is because we live in a capitalistic society where our worth is tied to our productivity and our efficiency and things of the sort. And putting that into perspective, it does make me feel better. You are not valuable just because you're efficient. You are not worth something just because you have a title. You are not less of something just because you aren't on a career path that is seen as like something society might deem as good. My favorite and most memorable teacher from high school was my AP Lit teacher. His name was Mr. Parm. Within our first 2 weeks of class, I'm pretty sure he taught us what an existential crisis was. When I first learned what that was, like, I feel like I've been going through so many existential crises. But then in my sociology class in freshman year of college, I also learned about what a social construct was, whatever. The way I started thinking about the world completely changed. It really makes you just sit there and think about things, the way people live and act. Like, why do we do certain things? Why do we believe certain things? Why do we say certain things? How come? But it is still fair for people to believe that your productivity, efficiency, blah, 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 is all tied to you and your worth and your value. But anyways, that's like one of the things you learn when you grow up, is that you can literally live your life however you want to, as long as you are happy and your basic needs are met. But again, going back to like the negative feelings of feeling invaluable and worthless, regardless of understanding the type of society and world that we live in, I feel like I need to be in these deep ruts for a certain amount of time so I can slowly dig my way out of it, which means like finding resources, talking to family and friends, watching TED Talk, watching big think videos. The School of Life is one of my favorite YouTube channels. It has taught me so much about me. It has helped me with my relationships. Highly recommend. Even seeing a random quote like outside, whenever I'm outside, or when I'm scrolling on Pinterest or something of the sort, or if I just decide to open a book and I see something, when I'm in those low moments and I'm really letting myself feel the things that I need to feel, I learn something about myself, about my resilience, about what I actually need or want. And to find those resources or to have your ear out and your heart out and your mind out to find those things that are going to will light up that light bulb, I feel are very important experiences that I need to have. So as I've been floating around and trying to figure out where to put my foot next or how to put my foot forward, I decided to take a risk and pursue passion. Started a little pop-up business that has been really fun, where I'm baking bread and I'm literally like, living out a passionate life that brings me a lot of joy, but also does lead to burnout pretty easily. I have two sides that talk to me. One side is like, oh my God, this is the life you've always wanted. Like, this is so fun that you're having the best time of your life. You're talking to chefs. You're meeting people in the community that you probably would not have met any other way. You're making something, you're doing something with your hands. That's literally the dream. There are so many pros. But then on the other side, I have to consider a means for expansion, right? If I want to sell to cafes, if I want to sell to a restaurant, which is so crazy that I've had people reach out asking to use my bread. Like, it's just the most insane feeling. It's surreal. But in order for me to get to that point, it means I either have to bake in a ghost kitchen or have like a very private government approved kitchen where I'm baking out of. And I just don't have the means to make that happen. On top of that, it's very, very long hours of baking. Every event that I have, it means I'm preparing like the whole entire week. I'm baking for probably 72 hours straight. I gotta make sure everything is properly wrapped, sealed, all those things, on top of posting on my stories, keeping everyone up to date. As much as I love engaging with people on socials, having to do that on top of baking is a lot, even though that's something that I choose to do. It burns me out really quick. It's honestly something I don't see myself not doing. So again, it is my choice to exert myself to that extent. But to be baking 120 units of bread for all these events, packaging all of them, packing all of my supplies, tables, chairs, baskets, everything that is my brand, to set up my stand, and then be out there for like 5-6 hours of the day, it is a lot, for sure. It is a lot. I have met a lot of really great people and made friends through starting Toast Club. Many of them who are also vendors and small business owners who are doing this on their own. And I have so much respect for them for what they do. It's hard work. It's dedication. It's time. To live a passionate life really means putting your all into it. And it's so rewarding. It is so rewarding. And I feel so much happiness and gratitude and alive when I'm doing it. Starting Toast Club and fully immersing myself into that from November of 2024 until May of this year, 2025, it has shown me so much about the way I love community, the way people come together to celebrate things like a really good piece of bread, what it means to put yourself out there and to meet people and to talk to people. There has only been positives to starting Toast Club. And in my short time of being an adult, because a few years of that was taken away because of COVID, in this time of just learning, trying, becoming, exploring, I think Toast Club is going to be one of the milestones of my 20s that I will look back on and be like, I am so proud of myself for doing this. And in my avoidant tendencies, I'm not able to bake bread for the time being. And I have yet to tell everyone on Toast Club about that because, one, I haven't been on socials since my dog passed. It's just, I don't want to go on Instagram right now, and I'm not ready to. Part of me feels like going on there is sort of accepting. And I think I need to continue sitting in my solitude just for a little bit more. Like I feel the time coming. I just need a little bit more time. But the reason why I'm not able to bake right now is because there is a horrible leak in my house. Unfortunately, it's right in the kitchen, and we believe that behind the kitchen walls there is mold. This leak only started in June. We are quite literally in hurricane season. So, that's not amazing. We are going through insurance to try to get this fixed. So we've had roofers over like every single day trying to get new quotes. We've had insurance over. It's just been like a whole thing for the past month of July. So it's just been hard to catch a break on top of the rain coming in and pouring through the floorboards and having to dry everything, removing everything from the cupboards, and all the stress that there is to come from that. Again, your body knows when something's wrong. I got so stressed that my entire mouth became raw because it was so inflamed. It's not a good feeling because then you can't eat for like 4 or 5 days. Yeah, so waiting on insurance, having to gut our whole kitchen after that, and me trying to make money to help pay for whatever else insurance isn't going to pay for. Yeah. I know what I need to say on Toast Club. I am just, again, not ready. So then my other to-dos that are just surrounding that are just don't be lazy. It's like cleaning up messes like this. I just need to do it so I don't stare at it forever, talk to friends more, less isolation. Yeah, especially like when I'm grieving or like going through things like that, I tend to stop talking to everybody and figure out how to. I just like need to experience like that feeling on my own. Of course, I know my friends are there to like help me get through it, but at the same time, it's like almost like a distraction from those feelings because I know that with my friends I'm gonna feel better, but at the same time, I need to fully feel this and not push things aside or like, So I'd rather get hit by a truck for like a whole entire month and then slowly get back out to my friends. So that's what I'm reminding myself right now is I am moving out of the isolation period of this process, and I need to reach out to my friends more because I also really miss them. Stop performing, just be. I'm sure some of you guys can resonate with that. And then the last thing is be intentional about time on phone and socials. When my dog passed, the whole week after, I couldn't go on my phone because everything felt so pointless. Like nothing felt real. Especially these days when I'm like on TikTok, I feel so much that it's a distraction, but content these days just all blurs together and it feels it's not providing anything anymore. And I haven't been on Instagram since he passed. And my whole side business lives on Instagram, and the way I communicate with like half of my friends is also through Instagram. So eventually I will go back on Instagram. But I'm not ready yet. So anyways, that's my whiteboard.